And it's Christmas time, so we'll put in some more Tall Book of Christmas. And this one's going to be A Christmas for the Bears. We'll look at the pictures first. Here's a bear sleeping next to his turntable. Here is a angry Santa Claus with a tipped over sleigh. Santa and the bear sizing each other up. It looks like the bear is flying Santa's sleigh. I wonder how this story is going to turn out. A Christmas tree. Santa and a bear looking at some sleeping kids. And another Christmas tree with fish underneath it. So let us begin A Christmas for the Bears by Ray St. Clair. There was a bear who did not believe in Santa Claus or in Christmas either. Each year at the first sign of cold weather, he would curl up in his cave and sleep until spring. Naturally, he did not believe in Christmas. This year, however, he could not get to sleep. There was a cold draft through his cave. Sharp rocks on the floor stuck up through his bedding. His back itched where he could not get at it. At last, he staggered to his feet and shook the stiffness out of his joints. Since he could not sleep, he would go out and see for himself that there was no Santa Claus and no Christmas. So he came out of his cave and sniffed the cold wind. There was snow and ice everywhere. "What a climate!" he grumbled. While he was trying to decide which way he should go, he heard a loud whirring overhead. "Helicopter?" he asked himself. "Four-motor transport? Mail plane?" The whir changed to a wheeze. The wheeze became a rattle. Then there was a loud thump off in the woods. "Wreck!" shouted the bear. "I must help them." And off he lumbered. It was not a helicopter, nor a four-motor transport, nor even a mail plane. It was not an airplane at all. When the bear reached the spot, puffing because he had run so hard, he saw only an old-fashioned sleigh on its side, with bundles scattered in the snow all around it. A stout gentleman with white whiskers was yelling and jumping up and down in the snow. "My," thought the bear, "he certainly does seem upset. I wonder who he is." "Vixen!" shouted the stout gentleman. "Blitzen!" Then the stout gentleman saw the bear. "So," he said accusingly, "a bear! Right out in the open at Christmas time. No wonder my reindeer got scared and ran away." "I'm sorry," the bear apologized. "I didn't mean any harm. I just couldn't get to sleep." The stout gentleman patted the bear's head. "Don't feel bad," he said in a kindly tone. "We all have our off days. Only I wish it hadn't happened right in the middle of the rush season." "But I do feel bad about it," insisted the bear. "Isn't there anything I can do?" The stout gentleman started to shake his head. Then he gazed thoughtfully at the bear. "Maybe," he said, tapping his nose. "Would you really help me?" "Of course!" exclaimed the bear. First, they got the sleigh back on its runners. Then they loaded all the bundles onto it. "Now what?" asked the bear. "Shall I chase your reindeer back?" "No," said the stout gentleman hastily. "They can find their way home alone. I want you to take their place and help me with my deliveries." The bear was shocked. "No," he shouted. "I'm no horse." The stout gentleman sighed. "Lots of good children," he said, "are going to be disappointed." "Oh, all right," said the bear crossly. He placed himself between the shafts of the sleigh. "Hitch me up." "You're a good bear," said the stout gentleman, fastening the lines around the bear's shoulder. Then, "Giddy up," he called, and they were off. "Hey," shouted the bear over his shoulder. "I'm up in the air. I'm flying." "Of course you are," replied the stout gentleman. "We have a lot of calls to make, and you can't cover the territory by staying on the ground." They made call after call, landing each time on the roof of the house. At every house, the stout gentleman would swing a huge pack onto his back from the sleigh. Then, quick as a flash, he would slide down the chimney. He did this so rapidly that the bear could not see how he did it, nor did he have the least idea who the stout gentleman was. At last, as the sky began to lighten in the east, they made their last call. The bear sighed gratefully. Now he was tired enough to sleep the rest of the winter. The stout gentleman stuck his head up out of the last chimney and beckoned to the bear. "Come with me," he said. "I want to show you something." I'm too fat to get down that chimney, objected the bear, but before he knew it, he was down, standing beside the stout gentleman in a small bedroom. In one corner of the room were two children sound asleep in bed. In another was a pine tree festooned with popcorn and bright-colored balls. Underneath were piles of toys, skates, and dolls and picture books. These children would not have had a Christmas tree or any gifts if it hadn't been for you, said the stout gentleman. You're a good bear, a noble and unselfish bear. The bear wriggled and sighed. He didn't understand this talk about Christmas trees any more than the talk about Santa Claus. In a few moments, they were outdoors again. The stout gentleman patted the bear's shoulder gratefully and said goodbye. The bear was so tired he could hardly crawl back into his cave. This time he did not notice any sharp rocks or cold drafts. Before you could say Merry Christmas, he was sound asleep. And then suddenly he woke up with the warm spring sun pouring in on him. It was time to get up. What a curious dream, he muttered, staggering to his feet. Then he turned his head and saw it. It wasn't a dream at all. It was a Christmas tree for bears. On the trunk was a large comb of honey. Arranged around the base of the tree were a dozen or so fine fat salmon, lying on chopped ice so that they would stay fresh. The branches of the tree were laden with bright lights, and between the lights hung festoons of wonderful roasted peanuts. There was even a long-handled back-scratcher leaning against a branch. There was a note on white paper with a green border. The red lettering on the note read, "To my best friend, the bear, who helped me bring a Merry Christmas to all the children. With most heartfelt best wishes, Santa Claus." Santa Claus, exclaimed the bear. So there really is a Santa Claus. And a Christmas, he dipped his paw into the comb of honey, for bears. And that is the end of Christmas for Bears.